Morning everyone. Yeah, it's the mechanic here. Tracy, the team boss, team manager, said that I need to be doing more to promote us. The racing driver's doing loads. I don't see why. His videos are pretty pointless, you know, but that's what the racing driver does, I suppose. So I said that all work that I'm doing on the car, no matter how small I may think it is, because, you know, just because I'm not a beginner doesn't mean other people aren't beginners, that I need to film it. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to change the spark plugs out, gap them, put some new plugs in. But first, before I do that, I'm going to have to nip down to the local motor factors to pick up said plugs. I know the ones in this car are shot. We were out at the last meeting, temperatures didn't get up on the car, they're heavily fouled and it's not worth taking the risks. There's a lot of corrosive elements that get onto them and it'd be my head that's in the noose if something goes wrong, so for the sake of a couple of quid of changing out some spark plugs, that's what I'm going to do. Here we are, our local motor factors. Absolutely spot on place, always got everything you want. Okay, so we're back on the motor factors now. We've got some new plugs. We've got the NGK 7s, the BP 7s. It's a slightly colder plug than what you normally use on the road minis. Normally use the 6s on the road minis, but with the temperatures rerun, we need a slightly colder plug. Don't want no detonation and don't want any power robbing either. Anyway, first thing we've got to do, pull the plug leads. If you're new to this, you might want to think about labelling them so you can put them back in the correct order. So easy to make a mistake if you're new to doing it. I've had people I've tried everything to get my car running, I've tried all sorts and I've gone and I've had a look and I've put the leads on in the wrong order. So you've put the leads right and it's like, boom, there it is. So if you need to, label them, you know, mark them up on the dizzy as well, just label them on the dizzy so you can't make any mistakes then. And pull 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see the firing order on these is 1, 3, 4, 2. So if we can just have a look on the dizzy, this one here at about 2 o'clock, that's number 1. Next one, number 3, at about 10 o'clock. At around 7 o'clock, number 4. And down here, around 4 o'clock, we've got number 2. So 1, 3, 4, 2. 1, 3, 4, 2. And that's your firing order. So I'll shove this on the stand and we'll pull the plugs out. I know these are pretty much done for, these plugs they're quite fouled. So I'll shove this on the stand and we'll pull the plugs out. I know these are pretty much done for, these plugs they're quite fouled. We put a new distributor on before the last race. We put the Olden Red on. Now although it is it's got quite an aggressive advance curve on, it wasn't as aggressive as we needed, and as our needle was also profiled to match the advance curve, it knocked the mixture out and also the temperatures didn't come up to where we want them, so we were running very cold with an over-rich mixture, so the plugs ended up in quite a state and there's no point trying to clean them, it's just not worth the risk. Right, I'll put it on the stand and we'll pull the plugs. Not actually too bad, that one. I did give them a wipe over when I pulled them out not so long ago, so we're that bad. So these are our new plugs, BP7s. We'll gap these to 35 thou. We run electronic ignition in this Dizzy, it's either the AccuSpark or the PowerSpark. Just a whole lot cheaper than the Alden's ignition system, so it's not too bad if you want to take a few spares with you. So I want these at 35 thou, and as come out of the box, they're definitely not 35 thou. A nice 35 thou. Okay, so that's the last one gapped, about ready to go in. I have heard that if you get these when you're tightened up so this lines up in that position, you're supposed to get a better combustion. I don't know, I've never seen it tried on a rolling road, it's just one of them rumours. What I do know is I don't think you really need a better plug than the NGKs. You see all the fancy plugs, no one in racing actually runs them, they just run these actual plugs. No one runs fancy plugs, it doesn't seem to work on the dyno. They may work on other cars, but the A-Series engine, no. Anyway, let's tie this one in, get them tightened up, get the leads back on and get it fired up. So that's them tightened up. I'd probably recommend using a torque wrench. I've been doing this for years, so you sort of get a feel for where they want to be. Right, so the leads now, we're going to start with number one. So number one's at the radiator end of the engine. Imagine if you'd turned this engine round and made it in line. This would then be the front of the engine if it was driving rear wheels. So this is what the class is the front of the engine here. So you always start from here as number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we'll have a look where we are in Dizzy. This is number 1. Next one's number 3. Next one's number 4. Let's see if we can guess what the next one is. Yay! Number 2. So, if I've done everything right, let's hope I can put plugs in. Let's give it a whirl, see if it fires up. We've only got 8 days left and then we're going to Pembury. So I don't think there should be any more job to do. It's just tidying up. You don't want to watch someone washing the car, so that's all we've really got left to do. Obviously I'm being moved along by our team manager to get videos out, but we'll get them out when they're ready, yeah? Hi guys, just a quick ad on the end. It's one of my favourite bits of these cars. It's one of the bits I love about these cars, and I think it's one of the bits that everyone else loves about these cars. That noise that comes out the back end of them. We'll have a quick shot of it here. Gotta love it. Anyway, see you later.